Wednesday, welcome back to the sewing room. I am going to be continuing with the Vogue 9077 shirt dress sew along today. So far I have the skirt done, which is just in the corner there, and I am going to be trying to get the bodice and sleeves done today. I might finish it today. It's definitely a possibility, but I've still got to cut out the interfacing, so I'm not going to 100% say that I'm going to finish it today, but I hope I will. The coat hangers that I have ordered should be arriving today. I think I cut this out of all the waffle the other day because it was a really long waffle because I hadn't spoken to you for a while, but I have run out of the flocked velvet coat hangers. That's because a lot of them have broken during the move and they are fairly delicate, and I have ordered another 80. I have room for 80. I am going to be doing a wardrobe clear out cull with you guys as soon as they've arrived. I have realised that I only have a few long sleeved woven dresses, and I'm definitely going to be rectifying that this autumn winter season with all of these and that cubby hole up there that you can't quite see, with all of those fabrics. Definitely going to be rectifying it because I enjoy wearing these kinds of shirt dresses, and you can layer them up so that they're warm as well, so that's good. At the moment all of my scuba dresses are currently packed away in the top of my wardrobe in the boxes that fit perfectly, like the IKEA boxes that fit perfectly into the top of the wardrobe. I'm thinking that I need to get them out and down. I really enjoyed wearing my Victory Patterns Jackie dress the other day, and I would like to have access to my scuba dresses to wear, because this is the time of year that I love wearing the sort of polyester that will keep me super hot, because as we all know I'm basically cold-blooded. I just need to be kept as warm as possible. It's currently 16 degrees in here. Mum came down earlier and has turned the heating up, but it's still working up to being warm. Her dad walked in here yesterday after being out in the garden in a short sleeve shirt and a gilet, and he walked in and he was like, oh, it's cozy. Usually he walks in and complains about the heat, but he was happy with it yesterday. So yeah, I'm gonna get my scuba dresses down. I have got one drawer that's empty at the moment. I've got another drawer that's full of tech, and one drawer that's full of my other handbags that are too big to fit on my shelf. They are currently, the litter tray is in front of those, so I actually think those two can stay as they are, but there is one drawer empty which I want to get my bulky scarves and gloves and hats and stuff into, because they're packed away at the moment as well. And then I have another drawer that's full of jeans, and as we all know I don't wear jeans. I'm keeping a lot of these because I'm hoping that I might get back into them at some point. There's a pair in there that I had specifically made for me. Yeah, there's just jeans that I don't want to throw away because they were expensive, and I'm hoping maybe one day I might get back into them. You never know. So I need to take those out of a drawer that is like easily accessible and put them in one of the boxes, for example. And then all of the French terry jumpers that I've made, they're all folded up in a drawer at the moment. If I get some new hangers, which I am, I can hang those up in my half-height wardrobes because there is plenty of room in there. I've got one of them that's practically empty. Then, as I say, I'm going to cull some of my other stuff. The main offender in my wardrobe at the moment is my skirt collection, because I have a lot of vintage skirts that I love and I haven't worn for a very long time, and I think I haven't worn them because I don't think I can do most of them up. Mum's winding a bobbin and she now looks horrified that she's making noise.
I'm so sorry.
It's alright, this is a waffle. It's the sew along that I need silence for, and I only need silence because everybody, I'm still getting comments on that first sew along that I did with people saying the sound quality on this is awful. It's like, of course it's awful. I filmed it on my iPhone. I didn't have a camera then. I filmed it in a busy shop during opening hours because that's where I worked. So yes, the sound quality on that first sew along is atrocious. I know this. I've even put a disclaimer up now just saying I know the sound's bad, because I keep getting comments on it just saying the sound's so awful, it's so distracting. I'm aware. I have also put a link underneath that comment just to the mini series tutorials, because I have done a in-depth one tutorial per video kind of look at the French seaming of the inseam pockets, the how to put a collar stand in, how to burrito something, French seaming sleeves, that kind of thing. So there's, whilst the this is the 6696, whilst that sew along is not perfect and the sound is atrocious, there are better quality videos that talk you through the trickier steps on that one, and I've put a link to them in those videos. But yeah, I said to Mum when I came down, she was listening to a story, I was like, I'm gonna need the radio off, I'm filming a sew along. So yeah, her face just now was like, she looked horrified. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a wardrobe clear out soon, and I probably will put most of the stuff up for sale because it's a lot. As I say, the things that I'm probably going to cull are vintage. I think I'm going to put them on eBay just because that's where I got them from. It will give me the bigger market for like the 1950s style skirts, which is what most of them are. So her sewing machine is threading itself and it's being noisy while she's doing it, and she's trying to tell it to shush.
It didn't.
Yeah. She knows we're pleased with herself. So yes, vintage skirts will be going up on my eBay. I will, if I do the clear out video it, and I will put a link up to those ones. I think the smallest skirt is a 24-inch wool felt skirt that I adore, and I think I'm just going to have to try and recreate. It's got a really decorative waistband with appliqued flowers on it and crystals. It's so pretty. I think I'm going to have to kind of recreate that one. I don't think I'm ever going to get back to 24 inches. I mean, it's only 4 inches away, but 4 inches is a lot. So yes, anyway, I'm going to stop waffling at you because that was 7 minutes and Mum wants to get on with some sewing. She's being very patient over there. She doesn't realise that I'm now going to start filming the sew along, and I'm going to need to ask it to stop every now and again. So I will report back a little bit later with the progress of the sew along. Fingers crossed I can get a dress sort of together today. We shall see.
2 hours later.
Bodice of my dress is done, so I'm going to start work on the sleeves, which means that I need to cut out some interfacing for the cuffs, and then also the collar stand and button bands. So I'm going to get that done next. I have broken for lunch. I'm nearly finished with the bodice, just French seaming the side seams. Sleeves next, fun times. But my giant box of hangers has arrived, which is awesome and does mean that I can do my wardrobe clear out video quite soon. Chiana is inspecting the box. Did I buy you a present?
6.5 hours later.
Okay, it is currently 9:10 and I am going to stop for the day. I was really hoping to get this finished. I have got the button bands on. The only thing left to attach is the collar and collar stand, but I haven't done one of those for quite a while. In fact, since this time last year, I don't think I've attached one of those because I've been making a lot of dresses with these types of collars on, which you guys know that I love. So yeah, I need to take a break because I have been concentrating all day and I have just done a ton of hand sewing to sew the button bands or the front bands down. This dress has a lot of hand sewing in it. Now you could totally top stitch all of the kind of like the cuff, the collar, the button bands, the bodice detail. You could totally top stitch that, and I actually think I will at some point because I am going to make this dress again. I love it. I love wearing it. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do a short sleeved or a sleeveless version for the warmer months, but I do really like the sleeves on this dress as well. Whilst they are not as giant and piratey as these ones, they are very nice comfortable sleeves, and I very much like the pleat detail that they have. So yeah, I can't decide if it's going to be another sort of winter appropriate or autumn winter appropriate one or a spring summer one with shorter sleeves. Possibly, we shall see. But yeah, I think I am going to call it a night for now because so much hand stitching and I haven't even finished the hem. The actual hem itself hadn't dropped. Oh, battery's dying. 2 sec, that's better. So yeah, the actual hem hadn't dropped at all, and if it hadn't started to drop within 24 hours it wasn't going to drop. So I've actually put the bias binding on. I need to put the bias binding on to be able to finish the front bands properly. I can still do a certain amount of the front bands and whilst I'm waiting for the hem to drop, but as I say, it just didn't, so that was awesome. However, the 6 and a bit meters of bias binding that I made after doing the by hand London and a top yesterday. I've got 4.4 meters left, probably nearly 4.5 meters left, and the hem on this skirt is 5 meters 20. So I'm 70 centimeters short and I haven't got any more of this fabric left. I had some scraps and remnants left and I put them in one of my cabbage scraps that have been going out. It's totally fine. I have used the same bias binding that I used on the side strips of my jogging bottoms and it looks really pretty, and I do like the kick that the satin bias binding gives. I do like that. It would have been nice to put this on, but I was 70 centimeters short, so I couldn't. And I'm really glad that I measured, and I had to check twice because I forgot. Once I'd measured this, I was like, oh, there's 440, that's brilliant. And it was like, no, I need 520, not 420. So I'm glad I double checked. But it's totally fine, and I will use this for something else. So yeah, just a collar and collar stand left to do. I have done a tutorial on how to do a collar and collar stand, by a standalone one, if you would like to follow along with that. I am going to talk through the whole thing again for this sew along because I'm going to do the same thing that I have been doing, put the whole thing up in one go. It's going to be a much longer video because it's a much more involved dress, but I will separate it into chapters so that if you are following along with, for this particular dress, you don't have to go elsewhere for the collar and collar stand tutorial. But if you are wanting to use the methods that I show you for here, for this one, then there is already a separate tutorial for that. So yes, that's the plan. And I've been through how to do a French seam so many times today as well. A couple of you guys were asking to see the insides of dresses once I finish them as well, and I think it's a really good idea. I am trying to get better at photography. This camera doesn't, it's not so great for photography for some reason. I can't set up, I have to do a timer on it, a 10-second timer, and I have to keep going backwards and forwards to try and take photos, and it's not ideal. So at the moment I'm trying to do screen captures from the videos that I do, and I do try and hold still, but they always end up slightly blurry. So I've actually ordered myself a selfie stick, and it's not just a selfie stick, it is for my iPhone, and it has, like, it's a tripod that goes up quite tall, it has a light, and it has a remote control on it. So I've got an iPhone XS, the bigger one, and apparently the camera on this thing's pretty good. I'm hoping that I can up my photography game a little bit because I would like to upload to Instagram way more than I do, but I just really don't like the photos that I'm getting. I just don't want to put up more blurry images. There's so many dresses and stuff that I was like, oh yeah, I must have a picture of this, and then I never put the picture up because it was just a still from one of the videos and it wasn't great. And I know a lot of my Instagram photos from the last year or so have been really blurry as well. So I have ordered a selfie stick, it's on its way. The thing that I liked about it is that it was specifically designed for this kind of phone, and you plug it in and there is a remote control. So I'm hoping that I will be getting some better photos, and when I do, I'm going to start uploading to Instagram more, and I'm planning on doing like a me wearing the outfit, maybe a close-up of some of the details, and then a kind of puddle of the fabric with the pattern on top, because I know a lot of the time when I see people's makes on Instagram and they say it's this pattern but they don't have a photo of the pattern envelope, you have to go digging for it because obviously their interpretation of it looks very different to the envelope, and then sometimes they ring bells but sometimes they don't. So I'd like to do that because I've done some of those images on Instagram before and I really like it. So I'm going to do like a, I think they're called carousels, aren't they, of like the whole story of a outfit or a dress that will include the inside shot of all of the either French seams or bias binding or whatever the insides look like, because some of you guys have been asking for that. So yeah, waiting for my selfie stick to arrive. Anyway, I'm waffling at you for nearly 6 minutes of waffle. So I am really pleased with how this dress is coming out. I think it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. I'm definitely going to make more of these, even though it doesn't have the kind of collar on it that I like, because I do like the details on the bodice. And you know what, I could probably substitute in this kind of, now could I substitute in this bodice with those sleeves and that skirt? Yes, but I'd have to do a bit of fandangling around the, because this has facings along the skirt to finish them, has a facing, and this has a button band, so I'd need to fandangle that a little bit, but I think it would be a possibility because again, I love the sleeves and I love the skirt from this, and I do like the bodice detail, so we'll see. Anyway, that's lots and lots of waffles. So I hope you've enjoyed my day, and I will see you all tomorrow with a finished dress. Exciting. Bye.